How do you actually get an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee? Especially in this economy where things are going left and right and banks are filing for bankruptcy, some credit card issuers are tightening their application requirements. How do you actually get that? How do you get the business credit card for your LLC with EIN only? Let's have a conversation about that. So here's the overview. One thing you need to remember here is that in this economy, banks are filing for bankruptcy, right? Forbes, Bloomberg News, Wall Street Journal, the Wall Street Journal, all those publications are saying that you have about 2/3 of American small businesses that use the business credit card for their regular spending, and 31% use the business credit card for fluid capital needs, okay? And they do it every single year. And the thing is that it is possible more than ever to actually get a business credit card for your LLC using EIN only, no personal guarantee. The thing here is that a lot of folks have no idea how to go about doing the whole thing. They think that they just need to have like there's a section on a business credit card application where they just put their EIN and that's it. They have no idea there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the EIN thing. It's not as simple as you think. If anybody is telling you that you can just apply very easily for an EIN only business credit card, they are lying to your face. You want to walk away, you want to walk away from them as fast as possible. In today's conversation, I'll just share everything with you, okay? By the way, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here to have this convo with you about this important topic. And one thing I want you to really think about here is that everything starts with you making sure that you have a clear idea about the business credit card that you need. In other words, you have to ask yourself, do you want to have like a rewards credit card? Do you want to have a cashback credit card? Do you want to have a general use credit card? Do you want to use a travel rewards? Do you need a travel rewards credit card? Okay. Regardless of the EIN only option or social security number option, you need to start with the type of rewards you want to get from the card and also the intended usage for the card. And everything's also is important in terms of the geography you're applying from. If your card is if your company is in a specific state, you have to think about whether or not the state has the proper banking regulations for the credit card issuers to actually move into that state, okay? Because not every credit card issuer can actually issue credit cards in a specific state. Here are the steps I really want you to follow if you are trying to get an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee. The first thing you have to do here is to check your credit scores. I know when we talk about EIN only, boss, you're probably thinking, why are we having a conversation about my credit scores if I'm talking about EIN only? Well, there are two reasons why. Number one, when we talk about EIN only, we are indirectly or directly talking about your business credit scores, because EIN only just means that you are shifting the risk of default from yourself, from your personal affairs to your business affairs. So you're telling the lender, hey, I want you to look at my LLC. I want you to look at my LLC's financial situation, financial stability and whatnot, and make a determination when it comes to approving the loan or rejecting it based on my LLC only. So two reasons. Number one, your LLC does have a business credit score. Your paydesk score. This can be your Experian IntelliScore V12. Anyway, you got to ask yourself, are you around 80? Because 80 is actually the standard here. Okay, you want to be around 80. So that's number one. Number two, your personal credit score is also important because if you want the lender to really pay attention to your EIN and your business credit score only, you have to show the lender that, hey, listen, overall, you are basically good also when it comes to your personal credit score. They're not going to do a hard pull. They will do a soft pull to see whether or not everything is in place, okay? When we talk about EIN only, there is always a pull. It's just that this pull is a soft pull. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm having a conversation with you about how to obtain an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee. So you want to check your credit scores, and the reason why you want to check your credit scores is that if there is a problem, you have the opportunity to catch it first. You have the opportunity to actually catch it first and fix it. Okay. And again, this goes for both your business credit scores and your personal credit scores. The bottom line here is that you want to start a conversation before the lender forces you to. Okay. So if there's a mistake, or let's say that there is somebody saying that you lived at one place and you didn't live there, or somebody charged a somebody put charges on your account, collections, whatever, and you know it's wrong, you can actually fight it. The second thing I want you to do here is that you have to actually create an Excel spreadsheet. If you're trying to get an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee, you need to create an Excel spreadsheet where you actually list your purchases. So you want to itemize your last 3 months of purchases. The reason why you're doing this is because you are trying to give a number to the business credit card issuer. When they ask you, because they will ask you to prove something called spending patterns, and they actually will give you it's like if you pass muster when it comes to their basic eligibility criteria, the credit card issuer will set your initial limits, your credit card limits, based on your spending patterns. This is important. Now, in particular, you may want to outline and total your business expenses in the following categories: travel, for example, gas, for example, restaurants, for example, office supplies, for example. Okay, so that you basically have a clear idea where you spend the most, and this will come in handy later on when you need to compare the rewards and point systems of different business credit cards. Okay, and it also helps you knowing exactly how much you're spending, because how much you're spending will actually help you to know whether or not you need to like the kind of basic revenue level you need to reach. In other words, the break-even point for your LLC. Okay, so as a small business owner, you are likely already monitoring your business expenses, okay, your LLC expenses. But as you weigh your options for LLC business credit cards, you may want to take a closer look at everything you spent in the last quarter. It can be the last quarter, it can be the last 6 months. It really depends. So being able to categorize and total your spend can help you determine how your spend and rewards might look with different credit cards. So, and also this is important to really remember here is that when you talk about your LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee, you need to start a conversation early with the lender that you are interested in. The good thing is when we talk about business credit cards or personal credit cards for that matter, you only have 2 categories of folks to talk to, and maybe 3 on the personal side, but on the business side, you only talk to 2. So you have your banks, you have your credit unions. So those are, you have banks and credit unions, and then you have another category. You have the alternative lenders, alternative credit card issuers, the DV of the world, okay, the Brex of the world. So you have a lot of them here. You have a lot of them that you have to think about. The third thing I want you to do here is to find a card that meets your company's needs. Boss, this is so important. If you are looking for an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee, you want to make sure that you find a card find a card that meets your company's needs. There are many options for business credit cards out there, okay? But you have to think about, are you looking for an introductory 0% APR? Are you looking for a card that actually fits your business size? Are you thinking about a card that actually waives foreign transaction fees? What about credit card types? Talk to me about that. See, the whole thing here is that a card should be able to help you out. You should be able to use the card to your advantage. Again, regardless of whether you get approved for EI, like with EIN only or without EIN, you still have to be able to use the card to your advantage, okay? By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to obtain an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee. You got to look at things like travel points. So look for business credit cards for your LLC that give you travel rewards, such as miles and points for transportation, restaurants, hotels, rentals, and other travel expenses. And think about the welcome bonus also. Some LLC business credit cards, they offer a sign-up bonus for opening a new account, or a bonus after spending a certain amounts within an introductory window. Like this could be $1,000 back when you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months. Okay. Also think about multiple credit cards on account. Do you need, let's say, LLC business credit cards for several members of your team? Will they need separate accounts, or there are fees or rewards associated with multiple cards? So think about that also. Now, are you looking for virtual cards? So this is an option. You have an option of setting up virtual cards. That's the best for businesses who make frequent online or subscription purchases. What about registration and regulations, for example? Okay, business credit cards are exempt from regulations. Personal credit cards offered, and so meaning they can change the interest rate and levy harsher consequences for late payments and reporting to credit bureaus. So if you want to beef up your credit score, your business credit score, look for a business credit card that actually help you actually by reporting your transactional data to business credit bureaus. One thing I want to do here is that I want you to really sit down and predict and plan usage. If you remember earlier, I was talking to you about going to your Excel spreadsheet and actually categorizing the different types of expenses that you're going to have, right? We talked about things like travel, gas, restaurants, office supplies, and so on and so forth. You have to sit down here and go a little further. Here, I'm talking about going granular here. You need to think about your LLC budget. You need to categorize your expenses, and you want to do this on a monthly, quarterly, let's say every 6 years, every 6 months or every year. Either way, the analysis must be granular. You need to be able to plan usage. For example, you can say based on my usage this month, I plan to spend $10,000 on my LLC business credit card next month. Again, all this analysis, you might be asking, why do I need to do this to be approved? Well, because the lender is going to ask you. The credit card issuer is going to ask you. They're going to ask you why you need a credit limit of $10,000 versus $100,000. The credit card issuer is going to ask you why should they approve you in the first place, given that you have a crappy credit score on the personal side. So you have to be able to explain those things. You have to be able to articulate clear answers so you can be approved no matter what. And when we talk about predicting and planning the usage, how exactly do you plan to use your business credit card? Maybe you will use it exclusively for travel, like booking flights, paying for hotels, or getting taxis. Some LLC businesses get a corporate credit card to, let's say, to finance a large purchase, like a new printer or office furniture, for example. Okay, so be very clear about that. Now, you can track this as I just said. You can track this on a periodic basis, and don't worry too much about numbers. Don't try to say, I want to really nail numbers by the dot. I want to nail numbers to the nearest cents or whatever. No, here we're looking for estimates, because the bottom line here is that you have not been approved yet. Okay, so you just want to have some kind of estimates if the lender asks you. Next thing I want you to do here is that you want to actually do some math on the annual fees. And this is really important because at the end of the day, you got to really understand whether or not it's a good program for you. And one thing I want to say right off the bat here is that if we're looking for LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee, you need to be in a situation where you are basically benefiting. Like the card is not charging you too crazy annual fees. For example, you have cards that actually have an annual fee of $95 all the way to $695, but you have to always compare and contrast the program, like let's say the constellation of benefits versus the annual fees that you're paying, because you're paying for something, so it better be worth it. Otherwise, you're just losing money. Like if you have an LLC business credit card that is actually charging you like crazy annual fees, but they're not really providing a corresponding amounts of benefits, then you're just wasting your time and money anyway. You want to switch ASAP. Next thing I want you to do here is to take note of the rewards program. Okay, so the business credit card market has actually grown highly competitive, which means what? It means for your LLC, you have a wide range of benefits that are offered by various credit card networks and issuing institutions. So a rewards program might include bonus points on an eligible purchase, cash rewards, extended warranties, canceled flight insurance, free or discounted car rentals, cell phone replacement of lost luggage, airport premium lounge access, concierge services, credit score monitoring, access to VIP areas at events or museums. You have membership rewards such as streaming services or premium level accounts. So the bottom line here is what you want to really do all this analysis before you actually apply, because you want to make sure that you're not wasting your time and you're not wasting the issuer's time. That the card you apply for is exact, because I'll talk to you in the next session about how to apply for real, how to really like a step by step. Okay, and but you need to make sure that you have the right card before you waste your time actually applying for a card that you don't need. I mean, so bottom line here is that do your research, do your research first and foremost. All right, let me give you a few pro tips here. How do you actually get an LLC? How do you apply for an LLC business credit card with EIN only? No personal guarantee. First thing first, you need to have three things. And you know what? If you do not understand everything I said about this show, everything I said in this show, just remember these three things. This trifecta is important. You need to have a business plan. I don't care what people tell you. If you want to apply for an LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee, you got to have a business plan. Number one. Number two, you need to have financial statements. And this can be financial projections if you are a new business, or it can be just financial statements if you are an existing business. This is critical. Not subject to discussion. Don't let people tell you, you can negotiate this, blah, 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 blah. The third thing you need to have here is to have tax returns. You got to have personal tax returns or business tax returns. It really depends, but you got to have those, okay? Because you are trying to prove to the lender that, hey, listen, you are a legit business and that you file your taxes, not only on the personal side, but on the business side, because the lender is actually constantly trying to mitigate risk. So they're trying to see, okay, if we give a loan to this business, what are our chances of being being repaid? So it's really important to understand that most of the LLC business credit card, EIN only, no personal guarantee, those credit cards are available online. You can get them through a regular bank. You can get them through a regular credit union. Not a problem. It can be a regional credit union, a national credit union, like a Navy Fed, for example. It can be a regional one like a BECU or a Logix, or it could be a local one. Same thing for a business loan. So business loan can actually be, it can be national. It really depends on what you're trying to get through the card. But like most of these applications are online, but whether you apply online or in person at a financial institution, you'll need the following: legal business name, business address, business phone number, employee identification number. That's your EIN, your employer, not employee, your employer identification number. You have annual business revenue, age of business, monthly business expenses, personal income, social security of the taxpayer identification number, and you have the date of birth. And so it really depends on what you're trying to really convey here. The bottom line here is you need to make sure that you have the proper info right off the bat, so that when you decide to really apply, you get it. But don't forget, business plan. You want to have a business line of credit, and you want to have your tax returns. So business plan, your taxes, and maybe something else. But it really depends on the specific business that you have. Thank you so much. I really appreciate having you here. Today's conversation, we spoke about LLC business credit card with EIN only, no personal guarantee. How do you get it? So I give you the overview. I also give you the steps also and the pro tips. God bless you. Thank you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.